But we as content creators need to be able to effectively leverage that weakness that some of us fall into, wasting time, capture that opportunity of attention and connection, and really use it for good, right? But also not fall trapped to it ourselves. Good to talk to you, man. I mean, we've been connected for about a year, and you have an interesting story because you're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
And
I
you
would say
are
born
all
and
about
raised.
real estate, and you have what's the branding company you have again?
I created my own, which is called the
Brand.
Exceptional Brand, but I'm partnered with a company called EXP, so it's a combination.
Got that I did know, and so I'm interested to get into your goals and what you're doing with EXP and how you're using LinkedIn to help grow your tribe. Obviously, I'm a real estate agent too, so there's that connection there.
Yes,
So,
sir.
let's get into it, man.
Well, yeah, feel free. I appreciate what you're doing. I think personal branding video is the only way to go in our industry, let alone really any industry. But not many of those are like you, as forwards of that, and kind of as confident as you are. And I love the fact you've got an academy going now, and you're trying to kind of help others do that. So, what does that look like from your end?
Oh, it's awesome. I have one student in it right now, and bless her heart, she is a business owner. She's in her later walk in life, but she does promotional products, and COVID impacted her business like hard. And she got connected with me based on a search and outbound campaign that I set up for business owners in Phoenix from, with executives or owners, Phoenix, 2 to 10 employees. So I found her and connected with her, and she actually booked a link to book a call with me using my call funnel. And so I jumped on the phone with her, and I just jumped on the meeting with her. Like, my VA set up the meeting for me. It was actually pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
So
good for you. Yeah,
I'm here trying to help her, show her what I can help her do, how I even got her on the phone. And she's like, I know I can help her. And she's like, looking for that help. She's ready to be helped. So we did our first class. We're doing like a weekly group class. So every week we're doing like a new training, and that's making it really easy because it's allowing me to launch this product without having to do some big giant course. It's just going to be kind of ongoing course. Like, it's going to build out a course library. Cause like we're doing like right now, just setting up your LinkedIn profile. And this Friday we're going in detail, going over your settings. And then we're going to maybe go like, we'll kind of create some formula along as we go. But it's that weekly coaching and that community that they get that support for like $97 a month. It's like a no-brainer for them.
And accountability too, from someone who's been
Yeah. I'm like, okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to watch the social dilemma, because if you're getting into this space, you need to be fully aware of that double-edged sword of social media and how to, if you're aware of it, then you can kind of safeguard yourself from it. Because I've been there, we've all been there. It's very hard to not fall into that trap where these algorithms are designed to waste our time, right? So we as content creators need to be able to effectively leverage that weakness that some of us fall into, wasting time, capture that opportunity of attention and connection, and really use it for good, right? But also not fall trapped to it ourselves, because there are a lot of bad actors out there, we all know. So it's like building real authentic connections and just growing a valuable brand and business.
I think that's it. I think authenticity and organically is the only way to go. And I think that's what you're obviously seeing. You've got to start somewhere, right? So when one person succeeds and that becomes 2, 10, 20, 100, and it just kind of grows from there. So I think that's truthfully the only way to go. People want to sell you everything now. People want to take over your social media accounts, and they want to do it for you, which, as you and I know, actually adds the opposite of value. So I think the way you're going is perfect. Have the criteria set up, right? Have the back catalog, and then do the live calls. I mean, I think it's a great way to go, and I love it. I love the video. Was it a video you had first of all, just kind of the intro explanation? I think it was tremendous.
Yeah,
set the bar very high early on,
Yeah, and that was like the video that when you first buy the course and you log in, that's like the first video that you'll see. So we're just kind of building it as we go, and it's agile. Like I just know that this is what I should be doing. I do have a client that I do like more full stack LinkedIn marketing and just full stack marketing for, and we've developed like an online course that we generated like 25,000 in sales within the first month. So
that's awesome.
I've created like this new offer built around that, like finding people like like yourself, maybe like you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of people that are maybe looking to get into real estate. They just signed up with EXP. They're looking for more training from you. And so you could create like some sort of informational business and additional stream of income that one, makes you revenue, two, makes you more valuable to your clients and to the members of your EXP tribe, and also obviously can play into the exceptional brand. And you talk a lot about how to you yourself are also an advocate of growing on LinkedIn, and so that's why obviously we're connected. So
yeah, true. Well, that's the thing. I mean, especially in our industry, kind of the real estate side, Facebook is prominent. Facebook is 90%. People don't really use LinkedIn much, but for me, that's how I've done what I've done. I mean, I was a nobody 3 years ago, quite frankly, and to now have an international real estate team of 160 and 750 deals right now. I mean, it's LinkedIn did that for me, and I don't think people utilize it enough. People see it as business to business and not worthy enough of building that value, building that brand. And that's why I love what you're doing, and I hope it gets that right exposure to the right people, because I think it's so much value, because people see Facebook because it has that much more traction and people daily go on it. But for me, LinkedIn's the untapped market, and that's what you're going for. Yeah. So I think that's so.
I want to dive into that more, though. You can't just sneak that one in there and not perk my attention, because you said you have 150 people on your network, on your EXP team. Or how does explain what?
Yeah. I mean, officially,
how does that work? Are you like a broker kind of?
Oh, it's kind of like a fake team. It's very difficult, right? Because when I started my career at Keller Williams, Keller, Remax, Century 21, everyone has kind of the same idea. EXP does things a little differently, right? So it allows you effectively to be your own brokerage owner, but anywhere, really domestically. So when I joined 2 years ago, we're a big company here in the US, and I was very fortunate to expand the company internationally. So right now, through organically doing what I'm doing, trying to add value to people and agents and help them, weekly Zoom calls, and add the value of personal branding. I mean, right now I'm partnered with, I believe it's about 165 agents in 10 states, 5 countries. In another month or two, it's going to be another country and over 200 people. But by day, much like you, I'm just a real estate agent here in little old North Carolina. So it's just kind of a
that's awesome
project. Yeah.
So my next question, my follow-up question would be, so I'm currently brokered with Remax Foothills, and it was a good place for me to start because just practically it worked well for me. Their office was right next to my daughter's daycare. So, prior to COVID, I was dropping her off in the morning, going to the office and kind of getting my work done, then picking her up, going back home for the day. So it just worked for me. And I knew the advice is it doesn't really matter the brokerage. It really matters the mentorship that you're getting. And that's what mattered. And I really did form a good connection with the broker there, Rod Hoffling. So, he has a lot of experience, and, he's just been a general good guy to be, my first broker. He's also getting more into video. And so I've kind of been there to like help kind of encourage him. Not like he hasn't become a client of mine or anything like that, but, he sees what I'm doing, and, he has been like, yeah, dude, that's awesome. Keep doing it. Like I'm starting to do it. So that being said, I'm kind of broker agnostic because I also join this daily broker meeting with North & Co., which is it's like I hate to use the word boutique, but it's like it's a local brand that fee wise is very similar to what I'm paying at Remax. It's like a split model, like 80-20, and then like a small desk fee, let's say. If I were to switch over to EXP, what would because obviously I'm interested in, what you're doing with your real estate brand. If I'm, maybe if I'm asking for myself or just asking for someone who might be listening to this after, like, what would that process look like? Well, or what would my fees look? Yeah. If I were to switch to EXP, what would my fees look like? And how would that benefit you? And how would it benefit me?
So it's pretty straightforward, and I'll go one further. I mean, there's, I'm very well aware of the EXP model because I've explained it many a times for obvious reasons. This is a friend of mine, closer in your neck of the woods. He's out in Sacramento, the modelexplained.com. He just recorded like a 35-minute example of what it is. I mean, the fees are like anywhere, right? It's $85 a month, 80-20 split till you cap at 100%, which on a 3% commission is about $2.7 million worth of volume, with a couple of fees. But the two big differences between this company, first and foremost, I wouldn't have an international real estate team if I didn't have EXP behind me, right? I couldn't do it at Keller, and I couldn't do it when I opened up a luxury boutique real estate firm like you were mentioning. But also shares. I mean, we're publicly traded. The shares are publicly traded about $55 on the Nasdaq right now. Well, I know this is recorded, so I can't say how much I've made just from sales over the last 12 months, but it's definitely well in the 5 figures. So anyway, but the concept is, that you get an opportunity. So how I would see things for you, or someone that is an entrepreneurial more than real estate agent. I see myself as a home marketer and entrepreneur more than an agent, although I do pretty well as an agent, right? So you get the opportunity to use our virtual platform to really, for me, it would be advertised LinkedIn Academy to 35,000 agents. I mean, straight out the door, it'd be 160 here. Through my partner, it'd be 1,000 with people who don't really use LinkedIn because they don't know. So not only is it a platform, you get on the virtual stage for 35,000 agents, and just through having your name and having your value you're offering, as opposed to just being an agent, you get to be like me, an agent, but own your own team. And from that 80-20 split, for example, from EXP's 20%, everybody that you partner your business with, out of EXP's 20%, you'll get a particular part of their commissions. So it's just something I've never seen before, to be honest with you, Zach. And fortunately, it's changing my life and my business. And it's not for everybody, but for the right person.
That's a good point. Yeah. And I could still maintain a good relationship with my broker. I mean, he helped me get started, and it's
well, I think some things never go away, and the right opportunity for the right people, especially. I mean, I've only done this full time for 5, maybe 6 years. For someone that's done it for 10, 15, 20 years, you get burnt out pretty quickly. And no matter typically the traditional company you work for, at the end of the day, you have nothing to show for it, right? Hopefully you've been smart, you've got your money, you've invested it. But otherwise, having X amount of shares and stock in a company, then having residual income, it's just stuff that hasn't been available before.
Yeah. And this is exactly where people start to get skeptical, though, when you're listening to the EXP pitch,
And rightly so. And it's not for everybody, I think that's absolutely spot on. If I told people,
my thing is, I saw Ricky Karath. He does $1 million in sales a year, and he used to be at Remax, which is where I'm at, and then he went to EXP. He posts content on LinkedIn, although his engagement is not super high, but engagement's not everything. It's all about getting the right people to see your content.
Yeah.
Like if I was looking for a real estate coach, he might be one of the options I would look at, right?
Yeah.
But regardless, now also like he's an EXP option now too. So I'm more likely to sign up with your link right now, or be part of your tribe because, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. It makes perfect sense. And the great thing about this industry, great thing about this company, it's all free will. No one's going to force you to do something, or you're not going to force someone to sell a $3 million home down the street if they don't want to use you and sell their home, right? But what it is, it's kind of, I know it's kind of a bit cliche because you have the All-Star Academy, but it's almost like creating if
I were to switch, though, I would have to do it right now, because when I was going to switch before, it was like I was in the middle of a transaction. I was closing a new construction. So right now I'm not in the middle of any escrows or anything. So like, there's really nothing stopping me other than if I were to switch, I don't want to have to switch again, and like, that was dumb,
No, because there comes a point, right? So I was at Keller for a couple of years, and I opened up this company, and I was there for about 1.5 years. And I'm a very loyal person by design, right? And I don't want to be rebranding and redoing. But now, no one knows I'm really with EXP. When I have my listing appointments, they know me. They know this crappy little brand I created. They don't know about EXP. They just see it on the listing document.
Okay. So can you coach me through emotionally how I break up with my broker?
Let me ask you a question, because I have a 3.5-year-old son, so maybe similar age. How old's your daughter?
She's 4.
Very similar age. So, however, I would just take her advice. I love the youth, right? My son is so blunt and honest, but I don't think it's It's funny how you put it, right? How you break up with your broker. I don't think
we're at a point where we're equitably equal, because when I close the transaction,
yeah,
and maybe I can't share this publicly, but I think I can because it's just my fees there. I was paying 70-30 split, and I had been paying a 185 per month desk fee.
okay.
But there is a 100% model there where you pay like $900 a month, so you pay like 11,000 a year or something like that. Now he's not keeping all of that. It's like a franchise, so he's paying a certain amount to Remax. But when I closed my transaction, it was like $420,000 base price of a new construction, which is what my commission was based off of, which means my broker made about $3,000 or $4,000 off that deal. And when he gave me the check, he's like, dude, congratulations. I mean, it was awesome. He's like, congratulations. He even gave it to me a day early, even though the title company or whatever, the escrow office hadn't delivered the closing package yet, which had my check in it. He just gave me my check, which was cool. He didn't have to do that. But he's like, hey, don't worry about your desk fee anymore. He's like, you're good for the rest. Like, you're good. As long, you've paid it for the rest of the year. So like, I don't feel like I owe him anything necessarily, because like I haven't like been using a bunch of his time. Like, I'm not like, he even told me, he's like, you're not like most agents where they're like clueless, right? He's like, you clearly have like this thing going and all this, like, yeah.
So my question for you would be, how are you, because I know you're busy, right? And you've got different plates spinning. So how are you, and what is your focus on the real estate side of things? Because I see like a massive opportunity for both entities to go, but where's your time spent?
Yeah, right now it's really launching the accelerator, which is this whole online model. So I'm really like systemizing that, turning that into a high ticket offer, and like scaling my current investment with my VIP client, which is in industrial automation. Nice. And I have like a percentage share of that business. So it's in my interest to like keep working with that client, and they're like my case study. So then I'm turning that into a stamper so I can blueprint that for other businesses. That'll be my high ticket offer. And then like my lower ticket offer is the academy to scale that. Real estate is honestly like, it's funny because most agents are like hungry to grab any deal. But for me, it's like, I almost like try to turn the deals away. And I'm like, I tell my lender this, I'm like, I'm shooting videos with him and stuff and just doing it for free just because I like shooting videos with him and helping him grow his YouTube channel. But he's like, dude, most agents would be like, asking for the lead, I'm like, nah, like, if they want to work with me, that's great. Like, I'm happy to jump on a call and like, let's do this. Like my co-founder, Jordan, I'm going to help him buy a home here. So like the money, and the experience is rewarding. And, so that it's like, I don't want to give that up, but the primary focus is like more my higher earning skill sets are.
Which is my logic. Like, if there's a way where you can capitalize the two of them without necessarily losing one, where theoretically one should feed the other, like I would be all about that. That's kind of why, I wanted to pick your brain on that. And I don't know, Remax, I get your logic, especially Lord. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like my son goes to a daycare and this is kind of my office.
Oh, I'm not even going into the office anymore though. Like that whole theory was just in my mind. Like I went there, I go there like I went there a handful of times. Like, yeah, it's all virtual now, so it's like,
and that's how we need things, right? So if you have lower expense but more opportunity, I mean, that's the thing, especially with what you're doing with video. If it wasn't for video, I wouldn't be international. And I fly to, well, not during COVID, but I fly there for business by my choice, but you don't need to. So if you have the opportunity, and automatically, again, I was going to ask your connections. If you have connections within Remax, like I spoke to Ricky a little while ago just to figure out what that partnership was like. But man, through EXP, through the convention, which otherwise would be in Vegas, but now it's in our virtual world on November the 9th, just the gateway to 15,000 agents who are going to be there. It's just a little entryway to kind of internally to build that, because I think it would be tremendous. And like I said, I can automatically get 1,000 people your way, or at least you to have that audience. But it's got to kind of.
I think I'm going to do it, dude. I think I'm going to sign up.
Well,
it's not that hard. It's like, I know I go to the Arizona Department of Real Estate Board and I can enter my license and I can transfer my broker, and I just give my broker a call and just shoot straight with them,
Well, I think you've got to know ultimately what you want to do. Like if that video, which I think
definitely, you don't have to ask me again, or like definitely what this model is more in alignment with what I want to do than the Remax model. But it's just like, it's like my dad, I don't know. I probably have daddy issues. I need to join Shay Rowbottom's healing course. Is what I need.
No, you don't. You're good. And you want to, the nice thing is you want to have that relationship with the people you work with, right? And you want to have kind of that mentorship and that leadership. So you want that, and I don't know why, but I'm seeing that way for some of the agents that I've brought in. But I think it is because you work pretty closely together. So you never want to lose that. And that's a great compliment for him and for you.
Right. But also I need to value myself that if he wants to actually jump on a phone with me, I'd be happy to. And he's going to gain just as much out of that conversation as I would gain from being a member of his brokership,
Well, arguably, I hate to say this, you'd probably disagree, but arguably more, because when you're both in the same place, they're fed the same, right? You're only going to learn so much, but maybe when you're kind of corresponding with different people around the country and different people around the world and a different virtual mindset, you can probably help him and his business from a different level without it just being like, surrounding yourself with the same people. Could just be
and that's what I was trying to help him, like, because you can't force someone to do something, but what I would imagine for him if he was trying to grow his brokerage is to set up some sort of virtual video academy internally for your own team, and then use that as your marketing, But he has that fear of video. Like, he's still at that early stage. Like, he knows he needs to do it, but what he's doing is he's starting out just doing direct one-on-one videos. So he's going to do he's reaching out to people, doing like prospecting, but doing personalized video messaging essentially. So he's building video confidence.
Bomb. Which I love, which is great. But as you and I know, there's a tremendous value of doing things at scale, and that's the one word I love more than anything else. But again, I only did video probably the first time about a year and a half ago. I'm no expert, but it's working for me, and it's working for my business, and it's working for motivational purposes. But everybody has to get there at their own time, right? As you know, and he'll get there at his own time. I'm very confident about that.
Hey, man, I don't want to take up too much of your time, man.
Yes, I see.
But send me the link to sign up for your EXP. I just want to look at it. It doesn't hurt to look at it, right?
It doesn't hurt to look at it. I will send you 2 links. Let me know your honest thoughts and opinions. I can take it. I'm a big boy. And
mind if I share this on my podcast?
Absolutely fine.